Mason, I told you I didn't want to get married this early. Are you trying to force me to leave you? Emily Carter didn't hesitate for a second, her voice sharp against the backdrop of my proposal. Mason, this is emotional blackmail. Why can't you think about what Emily wants for once? Braden Hayes, Emily's so-called best friend, stood right beside her. He smirked, his tone dripping with that specific brand of passive-aggressive toxicity. I come below. Emily, I always thought we were in love. Let's break up. Suddenly looking at the two of them, I felt a wave of physical nausea. It was visceral, sickening. I looked at Emily and delivered the words flatly. We were in downtown Seattle, right in front of the largest luxury mall. The evening crowd was dense. I had spent ages preparing for this day. I wanted to give Emily an unforgettable proposal. A sea of roses, 999 candles, the massive LED screen on the mall facade. This proposal was my final attempt to salvage us. Mason, are you insane? Break up? Do you really think you can go through with that? Emily panicked for a split second before her expression hardened into ice. Exactly, Mason. You love Emily so much. You'd never actually dump her. I don't buy it for a second. Braden scoffed, his voice laced with contempt. Braden, if you say one more word, I'm going to drop you. Do you believe that? I watched their performance, the rage finally bubbling over. I still think. Braden managed 2 words before he choked on a breath. My fist connected with his mouth, followed immediately by a hook to his cheek. Mason, are you crazy? How dare you? Don't even dream of me forgiving you for this. Emily rushed to shield Braden, screaming at me in fury as he cowered behind her. Forgive me? You're delusional. You're trash, Emily. From this moment on, we're done. Don't contact me. I looked at her, then at Braden shivering behind her, and felt nothing but cold indifference. I turned and walked away. Mason, don't you walk away. Apologize to Braden right now, or I will never speak to you again. Emily, see me actually leave, sprinted around to block my path. Who do you think you are right now? When I loved you, you could get away with anything. Now that I don't, you're just a stranger in my way. Move. Emily seemed genuinely frightened by my demeanor. Her arrogance evaporated, leaving her stammering. I shoved past her and strode away. The crowd of onlookers began scavenging the roses and LED candles. Free flowers and a show. Everyone looked thrilled. The only people not smiling were Braden, looking pathetic with a bloody lip, and Emily, whose face was twisted as if she'd swallowed poison. I had been with Emily for 5 years. We had sweet times and rough patches, but life was generally good. That changed 6 months ago when Braden, a childhood friend, moved to Seattle. The arguments started piling up. She came home late, always out drinking and partying with Braden. Her social media changed too, becoming a shrine to her ambiguous relationship with him. For the last week, she hadn't come home at all. What man could tolerate that? This proposal was a test, and also a period at the end of a sentence. I wanted to see how she viewed our future. Now I knew she hadn't thought about a future with me at all. Ending it was the only logical step. I wanted to punch Braden for a long time. I didn't expect him to provide the opportunity on the day my relationship died. It was the only good thing he'd ever done. I had imagined this ending, but living it was different. The anger, the indignity, the lingering attachment, it hurt. Even if you raise a dog for 5 years and it suddenly runs off with a stranger, you'd feel sad. I walked aimlessly down the street, eventually ducking into a convenience store for a bottle of bourbon and a bag of peanuts. I walked until I hit the waterfront, sitting on a patch of grass near the pier, a sip of liquor, a peanut. As the alcohol burned, the pain faded and the memories blurred. I was deep in my cups, my senses dulled when I realized someone had sat down next to me. Can I borrow some of that? The voice was cool, crisp, and pleasant. I turned to look. Long flowing hair, exquisite features softened by the darkness. A faint, expensive scent drifting from her. Silence implies consent. I watched as she took the bottle from my hand and helped herself to my drink. I blinked, stunned. Go ahead, take it. At this hour, she was either a ghost or another heartbroken soul like me. Who else wanders the waterfront at midnight without bringing their own booze? Cough, cough. Demon, do you only think about sex when you date? Can't you wait until marriage? Are you all that desperate? The silly woman had taken a massive swig of the high-proof bourbon and nearly choked. I don't think you can generalize like that. Not all men are like that. I slurred slightly, rubbing my nose self-consciously. You don't look like a good person either, she said, shooting me a look of disgust. I'm not a good person. You're drinking my booze and eating my food. Aren't you afraid of getting drunk and taken advantage of by a bad person? I retorted, annoyed. Am I pretty? She suddenly turned to face me fully. A face so beautiful it shouldn't exist entered my vision. Beautiful. Breathtakingly so. You're all right, I guess, I mumbled, looking back at the water, my heart rate spiking with guilt. Huh, man? She finished her assessment and looked away, sneering. Can we have a little respect here? Haven't you heard the saying, don't bite the hand that feeds you? I rolled my eyes. We chatted sporadically, trading insults and sips until we finished the bottle. I knew I was drunk. I knew she was drunk. She stood up unsteadily, preparing to leave. I turned to watch her go. She hadn't even said thank you. She barely made it 2 steps before she collapsed. It looked painful. I shook my head, swaying as I stood up. I walked over and hauled her up with difficulty. She was muttering something I couldn't catch. I dragged us to the roadside and hailed a cab. The driver, eyeing us suspiciously, handed me 2 vomit bags before letting us in. My eyelids were heavy, consciousness blurring, but I fought to stay awake. The driver dropped us at a hotel. I paid the fare, supported the now unconscious woman into the lobby, and booked a room. I carried the foolish woman into the room. I intended to just drop her on the bed, but her weight pulled me down, and we toppled onto the mattress together. The next day, I lay on the hotel bed, staring at the ceiling. In my hand was a note and a stack of cash. Tears welled in my eyes. The note read, "Men are all trash. We're even." Beside me, a large square had been cut out of the bedsheet with scissors. The bourbon was gone, and so was my innocence. I called my office and took a personal day. I wasn't in the mood to work. I left the hotel and went home. The apartment I used to share with Emily was now just mine. My parents, successful business people back east, had bought the condo for me to use while working here. Being business people, they didn't trust easily, not even their own son. The deed was in their name. I was just a tenant. Their rule was simple: no marriage, no transfer of title. They clearly didn't trust my taste in women. Well, they were right. Emily wasn't there. She was probably at work, judging by the breakfast leftovers on the table. I ignored the food she'd made, went straight to the bedroom, and buried my head under the covers. When I opened my eyes again, it was 2 p.m. I got up, ordered some takeout, and after eating, I started packing Emily's things. I didn't miss a single item. Everything went into boxes. Then, I sat on the couch and waited. At 8 p.m., the door opened. She came in carrying takeout containers. Seeing me on the sofa, she walked over and offered the food. I didn't take it. "Mason, have you acted out enough? I made breakfast. I brought dinner. What more do you want?" Seeing me ignore the food, her temper flared instantly. "I packed your things. Are you leaving on your own? Or do I have to throw you out?" I didn't waste time. "Mason, what do you mean? You're kicking me out just because I rejected your proposal? Are you even a man?" Emily looked at me in disbelief, then at the wall of boxes. Her anger spiked. "Emily, I'm done talking. Get out. Looking at you makes me sick." I stood up, my own temper rising. "Fine, you're great, Mason. Really great. I'll leave, but don't you dare regret this. Don't come looking for me." Seeing my hard expression, Emily's eyes widened. There was fear there and reluctance, but mostly burning rage. She struggled to move the boxes out one by one, slamming the front door so hard the entryway shelf rattled. When she was gone, I deadbolted the door and went back to sleep. Despite the long rest, I still felt exhausted. The morning alarm woke me. I showered, grabbed breakfast on the way, and drove to the office. The car was another loaner from my parents. After a day of rest, my mood had lifted. The heavy suffocation was gone. I worked at a foreign trade firm as the team lead for Group 1. I managed 12 people. "Boss, you're here. There's a massive deal today. I heard Gavin from Group 3 is leading it. The CEO of the client company is arriving soon to sign the contract." Jason, one of my team members, ran over the moment he saw me. The rest of the team watched my reaction closely. The implication was clear. If Group 3 landed this whale, Group 1 standing would take a hit. All right, if they land a big deal, that's their skill. We just need to do our jobs. I'm going to assign the key targets for this quarter, I said, projecting confidence. Jason, finalize the Coastal Industries order. If you need help, tell me. Got it. I have a meeting with him the day after tomorrow. Boss, you need to come with me, Jason said with a grin. You were just waiting to ask that, weren't you? Fine, we'll go together. Chris, what's the status on Glorious Tech? I asked. I was currently before Chris could finish when 5 or 6 people swept through the company entrance. Gavin, spotting my team watching, shot us a look of pure arrogance. I didn't even notice Gavin. My eyes were locked on a silhouette in the center of the group. The woman who drank my bourbon and stole my integrity. Did she think wearing sunglasses would stop me from recognizing her? I didn't know if she saw me. The group disappeared into the main conference room. I snapped back to reality and shook my head. Forget it, I told myself. As a man, I didn't exactly lose out. Plus, I got paid. I tried to comfort myself with that thought. I finished assigning the tasks and started working on my own contracts. I had just finished drafting a proposal when Ms. Lane, the general manager's secretary, came to call me. She led me toward the conference room. Listen, when you go in, just listen. Don't speak first. The client is Serena Sterling, CEO of Sterling Corp. Gavin made a mistake on a clause, and Mr. Reynolds wants you there. He probably wants you to take over. Ms. Sterling, this is Mason Cole, our top sales manager. I'd like him to handle the coordination of our partnership moving forward. Mr. Reynolds looked fawningly at the woman. Ms. Lane briefed me rapidly as we walked. Before I could object, she opened the door. When Ms. Lane stepped aside to let me in, everyone in the room turned to look at me. 3 expressions were particularly interesting. Gavin looked at me with pure venom. Mr. Reynolds, our GM, beamed and nodded the moment he saw me. And the woman, she looked at me with a flash of panic before instantly reverting to an icy, statuesque calm. Ms. Sterling? No way. She's Serena Sterling of Sterling Corporation, Mr. Reynolds. I hope this person doesn't make mistakes. If he does, there won't be a partnership. Serena spoke coldly, not even glancing at me, though her voice sounded tightly wounded, almost nervous. Rest assured, the same mistake won't happen again. Right, Mason? Mr. Reynolds laughed, shooting me a look that screamed, Promise her. Mr. Reynolds, you need to clarify exactly what the situation is first, I said. I was still reeling from her identity, but I adjusted quickly. I looked at my boss. I wasn't going to jump into a pit without knowing the depth. Mason, here's the thing. Ms. Sterling wasn't satisfied with several clauses in the contract. So, I've decided you will redraft the agreement with Sterling Corporation Group. 1 will handle the account from now on. Mr. Reynolds glared at Gavin before turning a smiling face back to me. The old fox, I need to review the previous contract, and I need to ask Ms. Sterling a few questions. I ignored Gavin's hateful stare and went into work mode, pushing the personal history aside for a moment. Your name is Mason Cole. Serena didn't agree or disagree with my request. She just wanted to confirm my name. Yes, Miss Sterling. I am Mason. I kept my face neutral inside. I was screaming, Please, you crazy woman. Don't say you know me. I can't survive in this company if people think I slept my way into Gavin's deal. Mr. Reynolds, where is your lounge? I have a headache. I need a rest. Let him review the contract. When he's done, send him to the lounge to find me. Serena ignored me and addressed the boss. Ms. Sterling, is it serious? If you're unwell, we can reschedule, Mr. Reynolds asked with concern, though anxiety flickered in his eyes. He was terrified of losing the order as she walked out. It's fine. I just need a moment. Her voice was faint. Ms. Lane escorted Serena and her assistant out. The rest of us stayed. Mr. Reynolds, look at Gavin rush to the boss's side the moment the door closed. Go back to your desk. We'll talk about this later. Mr. Reynolds looked at Gavin unkindly. Gavin had almost torched a deal worth 1/3 of the company's annual revenue. If the Sterling staff weren't present, he would have exploded. Gavin deflated like a punctured tire, shot me a death stare, and sculpted out. I scanned the contract. There were no major issues. It didn't need rewriting. What game is Serena playing? I need to see Miss Sterling, I told the Sterling Corp staff. I'll ask. One of them left. A moment later, they returned. Manager Cole, you can go in. She's waiting in the lounge. Please keep your voice down. She has a headache. The rest of us will wait here. I thought to myself, headache? Probably a hangover from my cheap bourbon. Mr. Reynolds moved to get up, but hearing the staff's instructions, he sat back down. I went to the lounge and knocked. Come. I pushed the door open. Serena was sitting on the sofa, looking at me with exhaustion. Ms. Sterling, I have questions regarding the contract. Are you all right? Seeing we were alone, I kept it strictly professional, though I felt guilty. You bastard. Serena jumped up, grabbed my arm, and pinched the tender flesh of my bicep, twisting hard. The pain was sharp. I held back tears with sheer willpower. I didn't want it to happen either. You jumped me. I was drunk, and after carrying you for so long, I didn't have the strength to push you off. I rubbed my arm, probably bruised purple by now, and tried to explain. After the assault, she suddenly looked wronged. Her eyes turned red as she stared at me. She looked pitiful. My heart softened. I stepped forward and without a word pulled her into a hug. If a man has to take the blame, he takes the blame. Regardless of responsibility, comfort comes first. Serena didn't resist. She buried her face in my shoulder and sobbed quietly. After a while, she pushed me away gently. When I looked at her face, tears stained with red, swollen eyes, I couldn't help but smile. What are you laughing at? Am I funny to you? Panic flashed across her beautiful face, followed by a glare that looked more like a pout. You're beautiful. I feel like I missed out on seeing this properly. I looked at her earnestly. I thought we wouldn't meet again. I thought I could pretend nothing happened. Even if I saw you, I thought I could look you in the eye and feel nothing, but I can't. So, you purposely pick holes in the contract to make me take over? I asked. So what if I did? Her righteousness was unexpectedly cute. Are you trying to be my girlfriend? Walls can happen. We already did that. Then let's try dating. If it works, we make it official. If not, we figure it out. Okay. Are all men like this? Is there another man? I frowned. Are you an idiot? You're my first, and you'll be my last. If you dump me, I'll cut you. I felt a phantom chill in my lower regions hearing that threat. I shook my head vigorously. Look at that dumb face, Serena said, annoyed by my reaction. I need to be clear with you. What happened when we were drunk? Neither of us planned it. So, I think we should get to know each other. If we're compatible, I won't run from responsibility. I said seriously, Fina, I agree, Serena replied, just as serious. So, should we talk about work now? I pointed to the contract scattered on the floor. Handle it however you want. Use this draft. Clean it up. Come to Sterling Corp tomorrow, and I'll sign it, she said dismissively. You trust me that much? Yes. This was a small test. You passed. You have my trust. Wait, what do you mean? I really didn't expect to meet you here. I just decided on the spot to see if you'd get any nasty ideas because I'm the CEO of Sterling Corporation. Now I'm sure. Are women always this arbitrary? I believe what I see, and I trust my intuition. You won't hurt me. I looked at her speechless. I really want to crack open her skull and see what was wiring that brain. Your eyes are puffy and your makeup is smudged. I reminded her. It's fine. Wait a bit. I'll touch up. I'll wear sunglasses on the way out. She smiled playfully, watching her sit back on the sofa. I felt a knot of resistance in my chest. I thought about a lot of things. I had just broken up with Emily. I hadn't moved past the shadow of that relationship. And now, because of one mistake, I was entangled with Serena. If she were an ordinary woman, maybe it would be fine. But she wasn't. The status gap was something I wasn't optimistic about. Even though my family's assets back east rivaled Sterling Corp, right here, right now, I was just a wage earner. I'd have to take it one step at a time. I really should have just taken that bourbon home the other night. What? Am I not good enough for you? Serena asked suddenly, side-eyeing me. No, I'm worried I'm not good enough for you. I was lost in thought and answered honestly. Serena smiled at that, a genuine, bright expression. Am I pretty? Yes. That's not what you said by the river. It was dark and I was drunk. I didn't see clearly. Well, now you see clearly. Come find me tomorrow to sign. I'm leaving. Serena walked out. She put her sunglasses back on, but the glacial aura from before was gone. After Serena left, Ms. Lane called me to Mr. Reynolds' office. He was brewing tea and pointed to the chair opposite him. He said, "Well, going over tomorrow to sign. Do you know Miss Sterling?" Mr. Reynolds suddenly pivoted, eyeing me like an old fox. "No, why?" I feigned ignorance. "That's strange. There was nothing wrong with Gavin's contract. Why did she refuse that one?" "He wouldn't let it go." "How would I know?" "But there were a few minor issues." "You saw her come in person. When does that ever happen?" I stopped mid-sentence, startled by my own realization. She investigated me. Otherwise, why come personally to sign a contract today? Did she investigate my family background? This woman is dangerous. I dodged Mr. Reynolds' questions and left his office. His attitude was clear. As long as I landed the whale, the details didn't matter. I revised the contract and clocked out. I went straight home. The outside world was too dangerous for a single man right now. When I reached my door, Emily was standing there holding a food container. "Mason, let's get back together," she said, her voice soft. "We broke up. I don't love you anymore. How can we get back together when you were obsessing over your best friend? Did you think about me? 5 years, Emily. Did you ever think about a future? You were unfaithful to our love. You treated marriage like a joke. And you treated me like I didn't exist. Only your male best friend mattered. A girlfriend with no boundaries. A relationship with no intent of marriage. I don't need that. Is that clear enough?" I said it all in one breath. The bitterness in my heart evaporated completely. Braden is really just a friend. There's nothing between us. As for marriage, I just wasn't ready. Please give me more time. Can we just make up first? Let me ask you 2 questions. If I had a female friend I hung out with every day, ate with, shopped with, and rushed to for every little thing, how would you feel? I asked, throwing her ridiculous logic back at her. That's different. You have a girlfriend. Emily's face flushed red. She looked down, unable to meet my eyes. Second question. If you're unsure about marrying me, what is the point of having a boyfriend? Don't tell me it's for love. Emily, you took my kindness for granted. You enjoyed being chased and adored. You treated everything I provided as your entitlement. I see you clearly now. Actually, I should thank Braden. His arrival showed me just how cheap my love was to you. No, it's not like that. Emily looked stunned, like her brain had short-circuited. Tears streamed down her face. She shook her head, dazed, and walked away. I opened the door, stepped inside, and locked it. I leaned back against the wood, tears falling involuntarily. I laughed while I cried. The last vestiges of anger and sadness vanished. My thoughts drifted to Serena, cold and distant to strangers, but vibrant and expressive with me, like she was with family. No mask required. We had only shared one night, yet she dared to love and act on it, just like I had with Emily in the beginning. But with Emily, I got 5 years of being taken for granted. What would I get with Serena? I wasn't sure, but I was certain of one thing. I would never hurt this woman who was ice on the outside and fire on the inside. There's no such thing as love at first sight. That's only in stories. My mind made up, I stopped agonizing. I would let things with Serena flow naturally. The alarm woke me. With the emotional baggage gone, I felt lighter. I slept better. I printed the contract at the office and went straight to Sterling Corporation. I signed in at the front desk. The receptionist was calling up to confirm when someone tapped my shoulder. I turned around. Serena was standing behind me, her eyes smiling. "Miss Sterling, hello. He says he's here to see you." I was confirming, the receptionist said, looking between Serena and me. The glimmer of gossip in her eyes was unmistakable. "No need. I'll take him up." "Thank you." Serena turned toward the elevators. I thanked the receptionist and followed. Employees waiting for the elevator greeted Serena respectfully. She nodded in acknowledgement. When the elevator arrived, everyone stepped back to let Serena board first. She walked in without hesitation. Then nobody else got on. Serena stood in the car, staring at me. I braced myself and stepped in. The doors closed on just the 2 of us. "Are they afraid of you?" I asked, bewildered. "Maybe. Are you afraid of me?" She stared at me intensely. "Why should I be? I don't work for you." I grinned. "Then why didn't you call me yesterday?" She shot me a cold look. "I want to sleep early. Didn't even eat dinner. And who said I have to call you?" "Isn't that what boyfriends and girlfriends do?" she asked self-righteously. I was about to say we aren't official yet, but the temperature in the elevator dropped 10 degrees. I corrected myself quickly. I investigated you. You don't mind, do you? I didn't dig deep. Just wanted to know who you were, where you lived, where you worked. She had an expression that said, I did it. I admit it. Then what was with the note? Didn't you say we're even? Why investigate me? I roll my eyes. I told you. I thought I could let it go, and I didn't want to lie to you. Going to your company was a last-minute decision. I just wanted to see you. Honest. I sighed. We're here. Get out. I followed her under the gaze of the entire floor into her office. She told the staff, waiting for signatures, including her assistant, to wait outside. Aren't you afraid they'll gossip? I asked, worried about her reputation. Their mouths are their own. Let them talk. She sat on the sofa and pointed to the spot next to her. I didn't stand on ceremony. You said she looked at me, but didn't speak. Aren't you going to offer me water? You drank a whole bottle of my bourbon. Cup on the table. Help yourself. That's your cup. Disgusted, I looked at her, speechless. Suddenly, I didn't want to talk to her. You have a girlfriend? Did you break up? Her topic change was abrupt. We broke up that day. Otherwise, why would I be drinking by the river? What a coincidence. I broke up that day, too. He cheated on me. That's impossible. You seem like he didn't listen to a word I said at the river. He wanted me, but I wouldn't even let him hold my hand. So, he found someone else. I thought I would be devastated, but I wasn't. I went to the river to figure out why I didn't care. Was she explaining her purity to me? You don't need to explain. The past is the past, right? I want to hear your defense. I held hands, kissed, never went to the last step. I said, embarrassed. I knew it. Men are trash. Her brow furrowed, her face darkening. You asked me to say it. Couldn't you just, never mind. Topic closed, she grumbled. Signing the contract took all morning. This woman, no, this brilliant operator, was surprisingly transparent. According to her logic, since there was a high probability we would end up together, perhaps even married, honesty was a mandatory condition. Trust was the foundation. She spoke like a true merchant, spinning logic in circles. Luckily, I've tasted the bitterness of love and was raised by two business sharks myself. Let's go. It's noon. Let's grab lunch at the company cafeteria. I need someone to spread the news of your existence to my parents, Serena said, blinking those beautiful eyes. Definitely scheming. If we're eating, we go out. I am buying. The cafeteria is a bad idea. Right now, we're just acquaintances. I was stern. Fina, your call. Let's go. Serena smiled. When we walked out of the office, the Sterling staff stared. Her assistant approached, but Serena signaled her to wait. She signed a few documents on the fly, barked a few orders, and walked into the elevator with me under the scrutiny of the entire floor. We found a standard restaurant nearby and ordered a few dishes. Want a drink? I asked out of habit. As soon as the words left my mouth, I saw Serena looking at me thoughtfully. Sure, let's drink. If I get drunk, you could take me to a hotel again. She gave me a, I know what you're thinking look. Never mind. Bad habit. I'm used to dining with clients. Don't overthink it. I realized immediately she had misunderstood what was going on in her head. We ate and talked. Adding to the morning's conversation, we now knew the details of each other's lives intimately. Just as we were finishing, a shocked and angry voice rang out behind me. Mason, who is she? I turned. Emily and Braden were standing there. Emily was glaring at me, trembling with accusation. Are you done eating? I ignored them, turning back to ask Serena. Mason, you broke up with me for her, didn't you? You gaslit me. You're the one who cheated. You forced me to leave so you could be with her. I saw her ignore Emily. Emily exploded, hurling accusations. Mason, wow, I've learned something new today. Emily loved you so much, and you were checking out other options while you were with her. How do you sleep at night? If it weren't for Emily, I'd call the cops on you. I haven't even heard an apology for the punch. Braden chimed in with his signature tea-green toxicity. Emily, this is a client from Sterling Corporation. We signed a contract today. I'm explaining this not because I owe you anything, but because I don't want an innocent person dragged into your mess. And you, Braden, you know exactly why I hit you. Say one more word, and I won't hesitate to do it again every time I see you. I was disgusted. Serena was frowning at them, preparing to stand up. I stood up first. I couldn't let her get dragged into this. It wasn't her fight. Client contract. Ah, nice excuse. Emily, look at him. Breaking up with a guy like this was honestly cutting your losses. Braden sneered, looking at Emily with a smile. Braden, is it? What exactly are you to Mason and Emily? Serena stood up, her face frosty. I'm Emily's friend, naturally. As for Mason, he's nothing to me. Listen, beautiful. I advise you to stay away from his trash. Don't come crying when he hurts you. Braden's eyes lit up seeing Serena. He stared at her a little too long. Oh, so you're the male best friend. You know, in this day and age, any couple with a male best friend involved usually ends in disaster. Mason, you're pitiful. How did you end up with a girlfriend who keeps a pet male best friend? Oh, sorry, ex-girlfriend. Serena mocked Braden mercilessly, then turned her eyes to me, squinting. It was a look that clearly said, your taste in women is garbage. Who do you think you are? Why do you have to get involved between me and Mason? Mason, I'll give you one last chance. Apologize to me and Braden right now. If you do, I'll forgive you. Otherwise, we are done forever. Emily glared hatefully at Serena, then at me. Who am I right now? I'm Mason's girlfriend. We're at the stage of discussing marriage. Who do you think I am? And don't project your filthy mindset onto us. We've known each other 3 days. Love at first sight fits us perfectly. Serena didn't yield an inch. Mason has always loved me. He definitely hired you to make me jealous. Look at you. You look like a seductress. How could Mason like someone like you? Emily looked at Serena's stunning face and faltered, her confidence cracking, but she held on to her delusion. Nothing is impossible. You broke up. Isn't it normal for him to date again? Aren't you always flirting with other men? Don't deny it. I can see it on your face. Do you know why Mason broke up with you? You don't, do you? Serena sneered, delivering critical hit after critical hit. Emily was struck dumb. Braden, seeing Serena's sharp tongue, shifted his eyes shiftily and stayed silent. Mason, go pay the bill. Why are you standing there like an idiot? Let's go. Serena glared at me. I didn't expect her to be this fierce. I shot her an admiring look. She rolled her eyes at me. I paid the bill, ignored Emily and Braden completely, and walked Serena out to my car to drive her back to Sterling Corporation. Once in the car, she sat in the passenger seat, staring straight ahead, silent. I am sorry. I tried to keep you out of it, I said apologetically. No response. What's wrong? Angry, I asked. Mason, how did you ever fall for her? Serena asked thoughtfully. She wasn't like that before. It was only after Braden moved to Seattle. I sighed. I'm not like that, and I hope you aren't either. In the future, our world only has us. Serena looked at me with intense seriousness. What are you thinking? I won't become the kind of person I hate. I knew your character the night we drank. Watching those two was disgusting. You are forbidden from seeing her again. Forbidden from having any contact with her. Done. I won't contact her. The moment I decided to break up, it was over. Let's get our marriage license. Serena's words nearly made me rear-end the car in front of me. Avoiding an accident, I pulled over to the curb and parked. You won't regret this. I looked into her shining eyes and asked seriously. Serena had already taken so much initiative. If I, as a man, kept shrinking back, would I even be a man? Not grits. Never. Serena said, Okay, I'll pick you up tomorrow for City Hall. Do you want to have a drink tonight? Serena blinked, her eyelashes fluttering. I'll pick you up after work tonight. Men, so realistic. Pick me up tomorrow morning. We'll drink after we get the license. Story complete.